How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be reacting to UFC 251, which is an awesome card. I'm going to try to do this more often. I'll just start recapping and reacting to if there's good fights, crazy knockout, crazy sub, just a good card in general. But I'm going to try to be doing this more often. That way I have more than just one video, my predictions video. And that way I can kind of have my videos segue into each other. So I give you predictions, then a recap, and then kind of preview my fights for next week. So that way I kind of cut off some of the fat from the other videos and give you guys more content to watch and more content that kind of flows together. All in all, great night of fights last night. Very good card to be the first one on Fight Island, but a god-awful night of judging, a horrible night of judging, probably the worst night of judging I've seen in all my years of watching MMA. And I've been watching MMA for pretty much my whole life, since for as long as I can remember, like being like 4 or 5 years old, like way back. Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell. I've been watching my whole life, and I can tell you that this is probably, if not the worst, it's up there. It's very disappointing. Some of the decisions, I don't understand how you can make some of those decisions. Some of them were close. Other ones were just like, I don't understand how you, what fight were you watching? Like, I don't understand, which sucks, especially for some people like that are betting on fights. When there's a fight that you know that you feel like you should have won, but you didn't win because some judge screwed you over. Last night overall, I was 7-13 on all my picks. For the two fights they got screwed over on, I should be overall really be 9-13 for the Zumagulov fight, which I believe he won, and the Holloway fight, which I believe he won as well. I really should be 9-13. I had a great night last night, which is another reason why you guys should bet with me. Tonight at 13 fights, I had 9 right, and I'm usually pretty much around there, above 500 normally. So I hope you guys did go along with my picks. I hope you guys won some money. But yeah, let's dive into this card. All right, so for the very first fight up that I believe was a kind of a screwy decision, I didn't get to see this full fight, but I did see some highlights, and I did look at the stats after. And I talked to a few people that did watch the fight, and they basically all said the same thing. But the stats for the Zumagulov and Pavia fight are right here. As you can see, in every single stat, Zumagulov edges Pavia in total strikes, significant strikes, and takedowns. He beat him in all these stats. And just in general, he threw the harder shots. He landed the more effective strikes from the highlights that I saw. I just don't understand how you screw this decision up. From what you see with your eyes, if it looks like the person's winning, on paper, if it looks like they're winning, how do you put it the other way? That's what I just don't understand. That was one of the fights I picked Zumagulov to win, and he didn't win. I mean, anybody you ask, the people I talked to, they all said Zumagulov won. And for him to get screwed over on this, especially when he's making his UFC debut, it's a big statement fight for him. And on top of that, in a sport like MMA, when you have show money and win money, when you win a fight, you get that extra check. And when a situation like this, when you won the fight, but the judges say you didn't, but everyone else says you did, it doesn't matter. Even though you did win the fight, the judges say you didn't win, so you didn't win, and you don't get that extra check, which is dumb. And I have a real problem with that. I think that's really bad, and I think there needs to be some way of addressing and fixing this problem. The next fight up that I think was a bad decision was the Silikov versus Dos Santos fight. I picked Silikov to win that fight, and he did win. But I don't think he won that fight. If you watch the fight, it was back and forth. They were both landing shots on each other, but if you look at these stats right here, you can see that Dos Santos edged him in all these categories. He landed the more effective strikes. Just from what I watched, he definitely landed the more effective strikes. And I do understand it's only 6 total strikes overall they landed, but the fact that he had the more effective strikes, it looked like he was doing more damage with his strikes, and he just outstruck him. I just don't understand how they gave this fight to Silikov. When it just, from me looking at it, it looked like Dos Santos was landing the more effective strikes. He was doing more damage with his strikes. And overall on paper, he did beat him in all these categories. He landed more strikes, more significant strikes, and it just looked like he was winning the fight. And I just don't see how they gave that fight to Silikov. And then for the third fight that I kind of had a problem with, this one, I mean, the decision was right. I do believe the decision was right, but I don't believe that it should have been a split decision, and that was the Namajunas and Andrade fight. I don't know. I might be biased because I did pick Namajunas to win. I think Namajunas for sure won the first round. I feel pretty confident that she won the second round. The third round, you could definitely give that to Andrade. She busted up Namajunas pretty bad in that third. But even still, she was still coming at her. She was still swinging. I think Namajunas won that fight 2-1, and for that to be a split decision and giving me that anxiety of that she could possibly lose, that just, I don't see that. I think that should have been a unanimous decision win for Namajunas. All in all, she still got the victory, but the split decision I don't agree with. That, to me, that's just par for the course for the horrible judging last night. And then for the fourth fight, and the fight that I have the biggest problem with, the worst decision I saw on this whole entire card, and probably one of the worst decisions I've seen ever, was the Holloway-Volkanovski fight. I just simply don't understand how they gave that fight to Volkanovski. In my opinion, undoubtedly Holloway won that fight 3-2. I think he won the first 3 rounds. You could definitely give the championship rounds to Volkanovski. To give that fight to Volkanovski, from the looks of it, it looked like Holloway was winning. Every time that Volkanovski would try to throw things, he was just out of range. And Holloway was throwing really good combinations, and he was connecting. He dropped him twice. The only reason why I feel like they could have given that to Volkanovski was because of his takedowns. But he had 3 takedowns with a total control time of 1:28, which is less than 30 seconds per takedown. So even still, I definitely think that Max threw the more effective strikes. He looked like every time Volkanovski would try to throw something, he was just out of range, then Max would be right back in his face throwing a combo or something. Max dropped him twice. Volkanovski never even really did any serious damage to Max. He never even had Max hurt. Max had him hurt on multiple occasions. And I believe in all the exchanges, Max always got the better of him. He always connected with more punches. He threw more in his combinations. I just think Max beat him. The only thing is that on paper, Volkanovski looked like he beat Holloway. But if you watch that fight, I don't see how you could have thought Volkanovski won. Just from the looks of it, Max was the one walking him down. Max seemed to be the aggressor the whole fight, except for maybe the last 2 rounds. But even still, Max was still in there. It's not like he was ever hurt or any danger, I just don't understand how the judges gave that to Volkanovski. I don't know. Because even that's another fight. I picked Max by decision, and he would have won that by decision, but he just got screwed over by the judges. So all in all, I really should have been 9-13. You guys should have been 9-13 if you wanted my picks, but I think it's safe to say that these guys definitely got screwed over way more than we did, especially Holloway. When you've lost now technically 2 in a row to Volkanovski, you got to go back and fight someone in the rankings and work your way back up to the title shot. I do believe that Volkanovski won the first fight between the two, but I just don't see how Volkanovski won the second fight. I really don't. I think they should be fighting a third time, but it's kind of hard to schedule a third fight when technically the champ is up 2-0. I don't know. Well, I'm interested to see what happens next, what they're going to do with this, because I think even Dana said it was BS. Everyone that I've talked to has said it's BS. They just don't see how Volkanovski won. It was not a shutout, and it wasn't a completely dominating performance by Max, but it also wasn't like an incredibly close fight. It was close, but Max was beating him. I think it was clear that Max was beating him, but I just don't understand how they made that decision, especially when I think there was 4 bad decisions on this card. I think it's coming to a time that they need to start coming up with solutions. Whatever that solution is, I'm not 100% sure. I've thought of a few things, and I might make that for a separate video. But yeah, that pretty much kind of wraps up this card. Fast forwarding over to next weekend, you got the Kattar versus Ige fight on Fight Island. I think there's a few good fights on that card as well. You have Tim Elliott fighting Jimmy Rivera, Cody Stamann, and of course the main event. I'm going to be doing the main card only for that card. I'll have that video up this week as well. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it was something new. If you guys did enjoy this video though, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please share this video. It helps me really grow this channel. If you guys know anyone that's into MMA like this, likes betting on sports, send my videos their way. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.